Hey there, this is Neil Napier, the Stoic Entrepreneur, and welcome to part 2 of our $0 to $15 million journey. Now, if you may remember last video, in the first video, we talked about the simplest thing that you need to focus on in your business is going from leads to offers. The more leads you have, the more offers you can make, the more money you're going to make. The more you can amplify this, the better your results are going to be. But as I mentioned in the first video, it is not as simple as that. There's a lot more nuanced things, and this time we'll go deeper into a specific thing in terms of traffic. Last time we talked more about the free traffic, so we talked about organic traffic, how you can get that with Google, which is SEO, or social media sites as well. But this time, as I promised, I want to keep going deeper into traffic, but I'm going to be focusing on the two methods of paid traffic, which are traffic that you can acquire based on a purchase or traffic that you can exchange. So let's talk about this. For starters, I'll explain what does it mean to actually exchange traffic. Now look, to exchange traffic, you have to have something to give. Ideally, traffic in return. So quite often I would set up deals with my colleagues, with my friends, where I would say, hey, I'll email for you and you email for me. Sometimes the deals could be based on promoting each other's products. Sometimes the deals could be based on promoting each other's opt-in page, or sometimes the deals could simply be based on you send me 50 clicks and I'll send you 50 clicks. Typically this is done via emails, but there's no reason why you can't do something different. Let's say you post for me on social media and I'll send an email on your behalf. Of course, you want to make sure that the outcome that you get from that is balanced. You don't want to promote someone via email, send them 100 clicks, and they promote you via social media and the post gets nothing. So you want to make sure when you work with someone that you can get the outcome that is equivalent, close enough to what it is that you're putting in as well. Of course, someone might do you a favor from time to time, and that's good. If that happens, take it. But even then, it can happen that someone may promote you, but they do a terrible job at it. Like they promote you, but it barely gets any clicks or sales. Sometimes it happens to us too, where we set up a webinar, we get people on a webinar as a cross promotion with someone else, and we can only get 20 people on. So these things do happen, but essentially exchange comes down to you swapping over assets with someone. You don't give them an email list. Don't get me wrong. You're not just giving them a copy of your email list, but what you're doing is you are either promoting them, or you could even do a service for them. So you could say, hey, I'll write your sales copy if you mail about my opt-in page, or I could create your designs if you mail about my opt-in page. Of course, you then want to make sure that the audience that they have will convert for what you are offering, what you're selling or giving away, because if you're targeting someone incorrectly, then all the work that you would have put in would be for nothing because their traffic wouldn't convert. So exchange comes down to either exchanging like for like, and I don't mean Facebook likes, but I mean I'll send you 50 clicks, you send me 50 clicks, I'll promote your product, you promote my product. Or it could be service for, let's say, outcome. In this case, I'll just put outcome. So I'll do the service for you. Instead of charging you my regular $500 or $1,000, you do this for me. Of course, you can always take that $500 or $1,000 and put that into something else, such as solo ads. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So exchanging is easy once you have something of value to give. If you're completely new in the marketing world and you're thinking, Neil, can I do this? Well, most likely not, but maybe. There might be ways in which you can actually do it. I'll give you an example. So a while ago, when I was building products and selling my products, someone came to me and said, hey, Neil, I have my own business where I train freelancers, and I see your product is going to be relevant for me, to my audience. Can you give me a product early and I'll review it? I'll recommend it to people, basically. I said, yeah, why not? Go for it. So I gave him the product and he tested it out. He didn't just review it, he actually used it, and he got a few $1,000s in sales because of that. So he got me that as a testimonial. Neil, I've got this testimonial that I want to give to you. I used it. It was a great product. Here you go. And I said, hey, that's awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And he said, great. We have a relationship now, kind of, but I also want something from you. I'd like you to promote my community to your audience. In return, here's what I can do. I can jump on a call with you. We can do a podcast style call for about half an hour, and we can talk about what I did, how I use your product, and how it worked in my business. So that was a case study. So of course, he sweetened the pot for me by giving me something in return. So he gave me a case study. and I use that case study in the future to sell more of my product. And in return, I said, okay, I'll promote your community to my audience as a thank you. I'll just promote this episode, and this episode has a link to your community. So he got more people into his community without actually paying for it. All he did was pay with his time, but hey, he was happy to do so because he got some results. So if you're thinking, I'm completely new to this, how do I go out there and offer value to someone who's bigger than me? Value doesn't just mean money. It doesn't just mean a cross promotion or an equal like for like exchange. You could also offer something which helps them, something that adds value to their business. Because if you can add value to their business, rest assured, they're going to add value back to yours. So that is exchange. But now let's talk about actually purchasing your traffic. You probably have done this before. If you haven't, in the very simplest forms, this looks like buying, paying Facebook or Google for ads. So I'm just going to put that down right up here. You could run ads. So you can run ads via Facebook. You can run ads via Google. These days, you can also run ads via TikTok. There's Instagram, which is part of Facebook, and all those places. And this is very good. And here's why this is good. There is so much education on this topic out there. I couldn't even begin to cover it in this series. There's so much education out there where you can learn about how to run Facebook ads, how to optimize Facebook ads, how to create the creatives, how to create the targeting, how to create your offer, how to optimize your offer. There's a ton of different things we can go into. I won't do that right now, but I'm just saying that you can go as deep into this as you want. Same with Google, same with TikTok, same with Instagram, or any other channel for that matter. And because there's so much training, because there's a big community of people doing this every single day, it means you can always reach out to someone for help. Yes, sometimes it might be paid, but there's always going to be resources available for you to go and talk to so that you can go and learn about this strategy. Now, a few caveats about this. Typically, this is like, I'll give you the secret right now, but let's say if you have an offer, I won't even think of an opt-in right now. Let's say if you have an offer that is selling for about $200. Okay, if you have an offer selling for $200, to sell that, just to test, you need to have double of that. So you need to have about $400 ready to go so that you can run that test. You need to have at least $400 so you can run that test. If in that $400 you make a sale, good, keep going. And slowly you can reduce that, and you can reduce the spend that you have to get to that level. But in the beginning, if you have a $200 product, $2,000 product, you need to have 2x that amount to just test, just to see if it works. Okay. With that being said, the cons of course, running paid ads is that it costs money, right? It's a good strategy. I think I like paid ads because you can just start and stop it anytime you want, but you got to have money to spend. Unlike, let's say, affiliate marketing or, cross promotions, the list exchange that we talked about, or just the exchange. When I do an exchange for a product of mine, when I do a cross promotion for a product of mine, it means that I can promote someone can promote me back, and I only pay them after they make the sale. They only pay me after, they made the sale, or the other way, which is good. It's very low risk, but you also usually end up giving about 50, 60, 70%, depending on what kind of promotions you're running. But if you're doing paid ads, if you're running ads, then you pay for ads up front. But once that person buys, they could buy anything that you have, you keep 100% of that. You don't have to give a single cent to anyone other than your payment processors. So in that way, I like ads. It gives me a better sense of control, right? Which means that I can decide and govern how I want to spend the money. If I want to stop spending the money, I stop spending the money, and that's it. It goes away. So there's pros and cons to that. The obvious con is that you got to pay money up front. So I just talked about the 2x value. You have to have that kind of money ready to spend. That being said, let's talk about another way you can make purchases. You can buy what are known as solo ads or banner ads in the world of advertising. So I'm quite sure if you go to a website, you would have seen all these banner ads popping up on the right and left, right? Google AdSense is quite famous for that. You see a lot of native ads on websites, and you can pay for those, right? So you can pay based on how often those ads are shown. So there's a terminology there called CPM, which is, I can't remember exactly, but it's like cost per 1,000 views. So I think it comes from Latin. It costs per 1,000 views, and you can pay like $2 to $10 depending on the niche you're in for that. So what that means is you have a banner and that gets shown 1,000 times. Now you might only get 10 clicks out of that, right? But if one person goes ahead and purchases something for $50, you spend $10, but you've made $50 back. Fair trade, like it's awesome. You might have a banner that shows up 10,000 times and you still only get like 10 clicks, right? So you spent about $100, you get one buyer at 50, you've lost money at that point. So to me, ads more specifically, it's a numbers game. You put money in, you take money out, and at the end of it, you look at it and say, do I want to do it again or not? And the good thing is you can do it for as little as you want. You can do it for as much as you want. You can start at $1 a day. You can go up to $100,000 a day if that's what you want to do. So there's real scalability in this kind of traffic. Same with ads as well. But banner ads are great. Solo ads are really good as well. If you don't know what solo ads is, essentially, let's say I have a list of people who are interested in losing weight. Okay, I have a list of people who is interested in losing weight. From time to time, I promote products to them. From time to time, I send a newsletter to them. So I could go to someone and I could say, hey, I've got a list of 5,000 people that are very active, very engaged. I usually get about 200 opens from this, or let's say 500 opens from this. And what I want to do is 500 opens is less from 5,000 people, by the way, just so you know. But I get 500 opens. I can send an email for you to my list and you can pay me for that, right? So for every email drop, we call it email drop that I'll do, you can either pay me just, a couple of $100, or you can pay me per click that I send to you. And for every click, you can pay me like 60 cents, 70 cents, $1, depends on the market, depends on how much money you expect to make from it. And they are, regardless of what market you're in, you can just Google. So let's say if you're in the fitness market, say losing weight or fitness, solo ads, making money, solo ads, spirituality, solo ads. And you can find a lot of solo ad vendors that have a list of pre-qualified emails, and they will allow you to mail that list from their account as them, but with your content. So it'd be your subject line typically, or your email body, depending again on the kind of deal you want to structure with them, and they will allow you to send an email. Now, personally, I have not used a lot of solo ads. I like it. The challenge is you don't know what you're going to get. So you may get some solo ad vendors who are honest, truthful, transparent, and their traffic converts. But then you'll find many that are just doing it for the sake of making money. Like they don't have any relationship with their list. All they're doing is they're building a list through whatever means and then just spamming the heck out of that list. So for me, solo ads is a hit or miss. But I'd say that over the last couple of years, advertising in newsletters has become quite common and actually quite better. I have a colleague who said to me that he bought an ad drop, an email drop to, I don't know how big a list that was, for $5,000. And he was going to send them 3 emails. Like he was allowed to send them 3 emails. Again, like he would give the email to the vendor would send the emails. So he sent promotional emails. The first email itself made him $8,000. Just the first email made him $8,000. So he was already in profit after the first email, and he sent 2 more. That ended at about $20,000 or so. And he said, I've given him an advance for the next 6 months. So every month, 1 more email drop, I've paid him like $30,000 up front. Why not? Right? So that's a way to do it as well. Again, that comes down to finding the right person that you can get these ads from, email drops or ads, whatever you want to call them. I'll say when you do this, try and spend some time finding this person. Don't just go for directory sites or places where someone just says, oh yeah, you can have like 50 cents per click or something like that. Instead, go and make a relationship with them, understand their business a bit better, understand their relationship with their list a little bit better, and even sign up to their list. See what kind of emails they send, if that's something that resonates with you. But it's much better to have bigger deals at like $5,000 a piece than lots of different solo ad vendors who are just paying $100 a piece at a time. So again, with any paid traffic method, this one requires a little bit more experimentation. And if you do this, it will be quite easy for you to essentially go ahead and build out your own modes of traffic as well. So that being said, next time when you do join us for part 3, we'll talk a little bit more about opt-in form. As always, if you have any questions or something you'd like to learn, leave a comment for me underneath, or give us a like, subscribe to this channel, But do make sure that if there's something else you want to know within traffic that I haven't covered, ask those questions and I can do another part for that for you. This is Neil Napier. Thank you so much for watching this video.